Hi, everyone, and welcome to the third episode of Root to Rise, Season 4 of the Creative Spirits podcast with the beautiful, glorious Sherrie McCartney and Kate Campbell. Creative Spirits is what we make from the Creative Mermaids and Gumboots by the Sea, because that is what we are, right, Sherrie? And today we're talking about how we tend to downplay our own successes, our own happiness, often because we don't want to make other people feel bad. But I think Sherrie and I are discovering that there's more to it than that. And what we want to encourage our listeners to do today is really honor where they're at and really celebrate where they're at, and to have confidence to connect with your people and know that it's safe to toot that horn and shout from the mountaintops. Safe to toot your horn. You know, people are like, oh, tooting your own horn. Yes, I am, because no one else is going to toot it as loud as me. We have to be our own cheerleaders first. And just before we hit record, I said to Sherrie, before Sherrie hasn't had a chance to say hello yet, just before we hit record, I said to Sherrie, I was like, no one is going to share our story as well as we do. No one can do that. And so it comes back to the classic getting out of our own way to do that, and not feeling guilty or not downplaying what we know, how hard we've worked, or how easy some things have come to us because we're answering our soul's call. And of course, just before I hand over to Sherrie, who's bursting, we're both bursting tonight or today, the card that I pulled from the glorious Rebecca Campbell's Find Your Light deck is Find Your Light? Yeah, work your light, same, is answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? And I'm going to let you all know that, one, your soul is calling you to listen to the Creative Spirits podcast. No, joking. Two, or the real one, your soul is calling for you to share your story. Toot that horn and shout it from the mountaintops. Toot the horn. That's going to stick this episode. I'm feeling it. But that's okay. I'm owning it, because it is okay to just be exactly where we are, to celebrate that and to not downplay it, because we tend to do it all the time, women in particular, and we feel guilty and we feel bad, and it's getting in the way of all of our rising. Over to you, beautiful Sherrie. It's great to have you here.
Oh man, no, that was perfect. And I don't have headphones, so if I'm fuzzier than normal, guys, sorry. I'm trying to like Kate, as much talking as possible this time. But the entire time you were talking, I was like, that's what we want to talk about, the permission slip to be fabulous. Because this is the problem.
Perfect.
Not having permission slip to be fabulous, because it's always in the back of your head. Who does she think she is? And you apply that to yourself too. And even when you're talking about, the other thing I want to say quick, and then I'll do an example, but when you were talking about how, 2 seconds, brain just slipped. You were talking about how no one's going to be your cheerleader as loud as you are. And I think this is something that the universe tests us on, because I've seen it time and time again. When you first start tooting your own horn, when you first start marching to your own drum and you're out there and you're trying to collect your tribe, nobody responds at first. Maybe one person, your besties who are already there, but you're not getting this big following, and you get a bit of backlash. And I don't think we talk about this enough. Yes, we talk a little bit, okay, there's haters out there and there's going to be people who are jealous. But I don't think we fully appreciate to what extent people don't want you to rise sometimes. There are a group of people, especially out there on the internet, and if you want to get big, you need to go on the internet. But even within your own little place on the planet, people will dampen you. They want to keep you down because they don't like to see you rise, because by rising, your light shines light on their dark places.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want to look at their dark places. And so they try to shut you down. And it's very effective. It's very effective to tell a woman, who does she think she is? Now, if you can get past that, all of a sudden, it's like this momentum. And I think this is what creates overnight success. That, people for 5, 6, 7 years just never gave up, continued to toot their own horn, just believed in themselves. And finally, they hit that critical mass where all the haters suddenly go, oh, we couldn't crush that person. There is something to them. Boom, now they're supporters. Now all of a sudden, everyone loved you. People who hated you love you. People who said, can't believe who this person is, all of a sudden it's going, she was real, and she's been tested, she came through. And I'm like, and sometimes I think this is one of the harder things to do when you start seeing people do this slide. It's also a time when you just stop in and check yourself and go, I kind of not want to accept this, because I know what you said about me a year ago, and now all of a sudden you want to be my best friend. Well, who do you think you are? And that's your ego coming in. That's your ego coming in, stopping you again, trying to put the cap on you, going, okay, you know, let's get them back, instead of just going, okay, you know what, my light plays in your dark, and I'll accept you now. I'll keep you at arm's length. You know, you don't always have to be like, I forgive everything, therefore we're all one. I was actually listening to Namaste today with Christopher Witecki. Was like, you know, loving everyone and being at peace doesn't mean we hang out in this planet. It just means, you know, we don't fight. There's a difference. You know? You hang out in your corner, I hang out in my corner, we'll all love each other in heaven. In this place, it's about being peace and respecting. Yes. And I think that's important to remember too. And so I really think that's important to remember when we're crushing ourselves or putting ourselves on, or we're adjusting ourselves. Then it's like, wait, no, I'm allowed to toot my own horn. I'm allowed to get big. And these are kind of the ugly things you need to deal with. Despite really holding onto your light, despite really praying sometimes, oh God, if I just stay positive. But I think this is something we learn with Sarah Kay. She needs to come back all the time. We did, you know, Harness Your Healing Brilliance for the 2 different levels there. You know, it's that you can't just hold on to the light and close your eyes tightly and pretend the dark is not there. And it's not a matter of holding on to the light so tightly that the dark can't come in. It's going to come in. It's around you. And it's okay. It's in you. We're all made of light and dark. Like, that's who we are. And it's not being afraid to go into those places and deal with the icky muck and then wash ourselves off afterwards. We can do that. And it's okay. I mean, that was my turn to blabber on for so long. What do you think, Kate?
I don't even know why we apologize for blubbering on, because that's what our podcast is, and it's
no.
perfect. Yeah. I did it as well, right? Yeah, exactly what we're talking about. No, I'm just sitting here in awe because I just had a massive aha moment, and I'm just sitting back as I often do, and this is my favorite thing about this being so healing for us and so healing for our listeners, because what just occurred to me right then was that if we don't keep showing up for ourselves, I'm just going to say it, destination death, guys, destination death. Like, the alternative is darkness anyway. And how funny, I actually had my light on, my main light, and I was like, no, I like to sit in the shadows for these recordings. But I really feel like I've just had the light shone on me. Hang on, we'll just do a little effects for the YouTube viewers. The light's really been shone on me because and like a mirror has been shone, because it's so easy to be other people's cheerleaders. It really, really, really is. It's so easy to help. Right, for me, it comes really naturally to see someone, and do you know the classic saying, I think it came from Brené Brown, even before I knew who Brené Brown was, speak to yourself as you would a best friend, right? And, you know, this is a big lesson in parenting. When I first became a mum, speak to yourself as you would a best friend. And, you know, if we could speak to ourselves as if we're best friends, yes, amazing, great. But what about just speak to ourselves as if we are worthy of that love, and we are worthy of our story being shared, and we all have unique gifts and unique skills and talents, and that the more we honor that, the more we can rise, the more we can keep showing up, the more we can support, and the more others can too. And enough with the downplaying. You are, listeners, an amazing mum, an amazing artist, an amazing oracle card reader, an amazing writer, an amazing journalist, amazing web designer, an amazing crystal collector, wholesale extraordinaire, entrepreneur, whatever you want to be, marketer, salesman, whatever you want to be, nurse, doctor, it doesn't matter, healer, spiritual, yoga, master, everything. You are all of those things. You just have to own it, and no one else can own it for you. Sherrie and I can support you. Like, we try to make a living out of doing exactly that. And we invest in people helping support us. Definitely, very, very important. People can hold space for you to shine the light on the dark, to sit in the dark, to do whatever you need to do, to embrace the messy middle, to break out of the cage, to use some of Sherrie's terminology. But you need to believe in you to take that first step. And it's time to stop downplaying. No more justs, no more shoulds, no more justs. And I still do it. We all still do it. Then obviously Sherrie and I are doing it. That's why we're talking about it. This is how this works, right? But the just or the downplaying a massive win, because who defines success? We define success. This is why inner peace is so important. Who defines success? Who defines what has been accomplished? I know for sure that a few years ago, publishing one book would have been like a lifelong dream. And now I've done two, nearly finished the third, and I'm like, this isn't my bestseller though. I've the bestseller, and then it will become a movie. Who knows? It doesn't matter. What matters is I'm owning it in the moment. I'm not downplaying those things. And still that little internal voice is like, okay, calm down. But I won't, because I'm in the Creative Spirits podcast, and this is where it's the safest place for me to share and celebrate, because that's what we're encouraging other women to do. Right, Sherrie?
Exactly. Yes, and I was just actually thinking that, because the other day I was actually going through my because I'm actually writing a book on the first 2 years. I've decided to let it go and accept it, and I was never in a place to do that, but I was like, you know what? No, I am. Now that we have a new boat and we're moving on to it, and it's been about 2 years, I feel like a circle is closed, and I can write Confessions of a Reluctant Sailor. Like, so I'm going to write about the first 2 years, my growth, not just the sailing part, but actually,
my God, there's a whole chapter on your spiritual rising. Oh yeah, this is amazing, Sherrie.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Is this the first time you've told the public?
It was huge for me. Yeah, outside of Instagram, yes.
Yeah, I did get a taste of Instagram.
I basically went. There's not the whole story's on Instagram either, but there's pieces, there's flakes, and I decided I'm going to go through it. I'm going to do it. I finally feel like I'm in a space where I can share this now. That okay, one chapter's closing, the next one's opening, and when I was in the middle of it, I couldn't write about it other than these little snippets on Instagram. But I was like, okay, I'm here. Confessions of a Reluctant Sailor comes out in April. I'm doing it. So I'm going through it, and I found actually Danielle Laporte's, because it was on the first year I lived by my desire map. Like, it was just every day, like daily planner, looking at her quote for the day, trying to find 4 things I'm grateful for, like really on my knees, crawling back. And one thing she wrote was, give it everything you've got and then let it go. And I love that. I love it so much. Write it like it's going to be a movie. Write it like it's going to be a bestseller. Write it like it's going to blow your universe up. And then once it's out there, of course, promote it and keep going, but let the expectations go. Don't let that then, whatever happens, don't let that kill your love for this baby project that you grew, that you wanted to be a bestseller, and you wanted to be a movie, and you wanted to blow up, and you love that. And it's okay then to say, I still love this project, whatever happens, happens. Because once it hits contact with the world, you no longer have control over that. You have control over the process. You have control over the love of it. Don't let whatever happens once it hits the world stop you from loving that project and letting it go. And I love that.
And I love that. And I also love that. Don't let that inner voice inside you tell you that it can't be as big as what you deeply desire it to be. And that is something I've learned from Denise DT, Lucky B, where she talks about, one, collecting all your little Instagram snippets where you have put your heart out there. You probably already have your book, Sherrie. Like, it's
I think most of it,
already done. Yeah. But also that whole idea of that accountability, saying what you desire out loud. Hello, I've been talking about Destination Death, before I even had chapters. That's my accountability. I know Lucky B, her book, Get Rich Like Lucky Bitch, her desire is that it's going to be in a movie. So she talks about it all the time within her community, within her group. She talks about the movie that will be made. And it's going to be made. I truly believe it. Just like I truly believe in Destination Death. But we have to start by believing in ourselves and having the confidence to break through those blockages, to break through that internal dialogue that we've spoken about this so much, that will keep us so small. It will keep us so, so small. Yes. Yes. Shall I share some cards that I pulled while you were chatting?
Yes, please.
Yes, I should. So at the start, as I said, we had answer the call. What is your soul calling to you to do? You guys know, you know, don't overthink that one. Don't second guess it. You know what your soul's calling you to do. Answer that call. Then, not surprisingly, the second card, these are from the Work Your Light Oracle deck, a beautiful Rebecca Campbell. Share your voice, share your voice, share your voice, share your voice. Come out of cave, persecution and expression. What is keeping you inside that cave? And what do you need to release? What do you need to let go of? Sherrie and I are here to support you. We can hold that space for you. You need to make that choice to invest, to commit, to self, to soul, to release, to reset, so that you can share your voice. And it's okay to just start in an Instagram square or start with a friend at a mummy coffee date, but just have the confidence to start and see what comes out of that or from that. Then the third card that came out was align your life. What is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? And massive hint here, if you are having conversations with people where you are not speaking confidently about who you are and what you're doing and what you have to share, that is not in alignment with you. And therefore, beautiful, beautiful souls, it's time to let it go. It's time to let it go. Hello, MJ, we love you. Yeah, little ghost MJ's here to say, yeah, let that go. And I mean, this is a big one. It's hard. It's hard because we will find ways to sabotage, and we will find ways to keep ourselves small, and we will find ways not to want to offend people and want, oh, they're confident, let's let them be confident. But we can rise them up by rising ourselves up, and we can find and truly honor what's in true alignment with us when we really celebrate. If people do feel like you are tooting your own horn, or, oh, she's a bit big for a boots, or who does she think she is, they're not in alignment with you. Send them love, but yeah, see them in heaven. They're not, I don't have time for coffee with that, you know, that, whoops, with that energy, I should say. So, you know, I saw a great little meme. It was like, the circle's getting smaller, the quality's improving. And own that, beautiful souls.
Yes.
Own that if you are singing from the mountaintops, if you have got your permission slip to be fabulous, and if people don't like that because you are shining too much light, or because you seem up yourself, or too confident, or you don't even know what you're doing, this is your time to truly keep going, because that tribe, those supporters, that community is there, and they're watching, and they are cheering you on, but they can't do it if you're not believing in you, if you're not showing up to your art, to your passion, to your people every day for you.
I'm going to say, can you take a picture of those three and we'll make it this week's podcast cover?
Definitely. I shall do that. Yes. Brilliant.
Because I think even our listeners afterwards might be like, I need to write those down. It's going to be the cover for this week's podcast.
And we're recording this at the new moon, the Aquarius new moon, massive love energy, massive like lunar moon, Chinese New Year, massive change for shifts and new beginnings. So, I mean, this will be a couple of weeks away from you guys hearing it, but when you hear it, you will feel the impact of this. Oh yeah, I'm already doing it. Yeah, what I'm already doing. Yes.
Oh, I feel so good now.
Me too.
I guess so. I got like a little bit of Kate new magic at
the end. Kate's lecturing herself, Sherrie, and all the all our listeners on aligning ourselves. Well, I feel like this is a short and sweet one, my love, but I think we've totally nailed it as far as getting our message across. Like, so
and you know
important.
what? I think this is also one of the perfect examples of stop when it's finished and stop judging what needs to be enough. Because if you packed in the value and the information and what people need to hear, you don't need to keep going. You know?
Yes.
So let's walk our talk and wrap it up.
We're going to wrap it up.
As it is. In
Also,
fact,
because we can go record another episode then. I feel like there's going to be some double ups coming out. So let's do this. But beautiful souls, share with us, how are you celebrating in you, less downplaying your abilities, owning what comes naturally to you. It's okay if it comes easy to you. It doesn't, and you know you feel like you haven't worked hard for something. It doesn't mean that it isn't a gift or a skill, or it's not worthy of your time, your value. So don't downplay. Share what you know. And if you offend someone, they're not in alignment with you, but you're not going to offend them. You're going to inspire them. You're going to motivate them. You're going to help them. You know, this isn't battle of the egos here. This is not
Exactly.
the energy we're in. This is the time of the awakened soul. This is the time of a realm of love, compassion, supporting women, rising one another up so we can root to rise through celebrating who we are, where we are, and all we have to offer this world. And this is truly magical.
Love it.
I love it.
Amazing.
I love it. Amazing. Namaste. Happy days. Well, beautiful Sherrie, let's not draw it out. We'll talk next episode. Listeners, please let us know what you're celebrating this week. Please let us know what your zone of genius is, and know that we're here to help you find that if you're in a pickle. We've all been there, I promise you.
Exactly. Love it. Mwah.
Speak to you soon, everyone. Bye-bye.